Ukana huilembo kaino husema ni huwakanila bacheni mwezi ne ukana hutandika ni uwe lukose resident commissioner mukose washaki Ahmedi sema huisema lukosi wekubona kuri wakhwakanile ela wakhwikhasile ukana ukhwakanila RDC uwe kweni mai kwesiga nalongo Eva nibasana iwatabule khale ukana ukhwakanila uwe lukosi RDC uwe butebo mai Liliani nakawesi amakhubakhane mbale mumushabulila wakhwakaniye mai ukana ukhwakanila RDC uwe Sironko uwe lukosi elomukhana wefe wabule Patience bendu khusoma bano nibo bashasile balyatwela niwe lukosi RCC khubona bali kumukholo kuno kutya bulayi khwakhwakaniye mai ukana ukhwakanila RDC uwe Mbale ela niye wikhasilano atwela ni papa RCC mai Nasike Asumini RDC Mbale ukana ukhwakanila RDC uwe Bududa uwe lukosi Danieli Chikola isawa hii nibo bamalira kutabula babandi nga batabule kuna biyungaho khubona khuli khubamanyisa mwanyala nabi mwikhale bulayi.
Well, thank you so much and a very good morning. My name is Jagenda Semakola. Mbale City here today, celebrating the 41st anniversary of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, and this day is Tarehe Sita, the Kiswahili 4/6 day. Here is where we are today, and of course, as you can see and as you will later tell, the day is already in motion. We are very grateful and thankful to God for, first and foremost, a very good weather here in Elgon area. Now, to also just remind you, this is the second national celebration, the second national public holiday that is happening away from the time that we got into COVID-19. But remember, it is a first here again for this particular time. Now, just joining me here is the Honorable Minister. I will talk to the Minister of State for National Guidance, the Honorable Kabyanga. Joining me here, very welcome, sir. A very good morning, and thank you so much for making it to Maluku here in Mbale.
Thank you very much, Jagenda, and thank you very much, UBC, for covering this very important occasion. This is an occasion where we remember a few gallant men and women sacrifice their time, their lives, all what they had to go and fight for the liberation of this country.
Okay.
And the peace and security we're enjoying now started with them, and we shall always remember this day.
Okay. You're the minister, state minister for national guidance, and what would this particular day speak or tell to the rest of the people who are actually watching this live on TV, wherever they are?
This day is a day when Uganda started the journey to liberation, and it's something we should really always remember. And I appeal to all Ugandans to use this peace and security that exists to develop themselves, to ensure we all work very hard to develop this country, and to also ensure we love our country. And for us as national guidance, we insist that patriotism and nationalism is the only way to go for this country. And we thank the gallant men and women who sacrificed their lives to make us reach here. I appeal to all Ugandans to respect their country, to love their country, to promote our national values, to promote our national ethics, so that this country can move forward. Yeah.
Well, I very much want to thank you so much, Honorable Kabyanga, and the best I can actually say is Karibu, welcome, and we pray that it shall all go with well.
I'm happy to be in the Elgon area, which is nearly at the same altitude with Kasese. And you know the Bagiso and the Bakonzo share a lot. So I'm at home.
You are at home.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Kabyanga is a State Minister for National Guidance. And of course, we are at the Maluku Bomber Grounds here in Mbale City. This is where the 41st anniversary of the Uganda People's Defense Forces is actually happening. To just let you know that we were here about 2 years ago, on the 8th of March 2020, when we celebrated the International Women's Day. Now, this day again comes back, and we'll welcome the spokesperson of the Uganda People's Defense Forces and the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Brigadier General Felix Kulaije. To also speak to us, you're very welcome, General Kulaije.
Thank you so much.
First and foremost, congratulations for the new appointment and the new assignment of being the spokesperson of the forces and the ministry.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Here is where we are today, and the significance of us being at Maluku here is maybe what the people would want to know. Why are we here and not in Kololo or elsewhere in the country?
Thank you so much. Good morning, viewers, and good morning, Jagenda. The theme itself of the celebration tells you why we are here. We are retracing the steps of the people's struggle. The struggle against dictatorship was born in Elgon region, 1971, then 72. Most of the activities that were being done against Idi Amin, the first activities were being done here. When President Museveni, as a student leader, had linked up with the Vietnam Solidarity Committee of Dan Wadada Nabudere, of Lomongin, of Nagimesi, and the Magudu Kuya. So our womb is very good as the struggle is. So that's why we normally say the 81-86 struggle was a third phase of what had begun by the Kabaregas and then the Lomonginis and the Mambe Mukwana. So we are here because we are retracing where we came from.
There are people who think and say you are trying to run away from the Luwero triangle narrative, maybe for a number of reasons that the national resistance movement has become very unpopular amongst that region. Is that why you are now talking about being born here and not the Mecca that we've always known, which is the Luwero triangle?
Mecca is the birth, but before you are born, you are conceived. You were conceived in very good. Now, can you forget where you are conceived from? Would you forget the one who carried you in her womb? Certainly not. If it's about running away from opposition, this region was a stronger UPC, was a UPC stronghold. Even in the 2016 elections, there were many FDC MPs from this region. So we cannot be running away from Luwero because of opposition and we come to Bugisu, which was even more opposite to us. So I think, in this country, what I've come to learn, always people will look for something negative on anything you do. But those can't divert you from your axis of advance. We have, you see, if you don't remember your history, you get lost. So that's why we are saying we must retrace our journey so that we keep on our axis.
I represent a big majority of very many young Ugandans who just had stories of the UNLA, the UNLF, the Uganda Army, etc. And they hear about so many atrocities that those regimes or those particular armies did to the people of Uganda. The advent of the NRA had actually brought some very good relief. The UPDF has been a pro-people army. Lately, it's also in the limelight for very bad reasons of torture, and people are saying we have slidden back into the days of UA, UNLF, etc. What would you have to say about that as we celebrate 41 years today in the light of the tortures that are being attributed to your force?
When you are moving on foot, you can knock your foot on the stone, you can step in a ditch. It does not mean you don't see, okay? But it means that you have actually encountered an accident along the way. Two, you may fall sick, malaria, you may get typhoid. It does not mean you are no longer alive. So, true, some errors have been made by individuals, but the character of the UPDF still remains a people's army. And our coming here is not cosmetic. Yes, we do symbolic activities, but it is to state that please, we are still your army. We thank you for supporting us. So, yes, errors have happened. People, but the atrocities which are committed in the 70s and 80s went unpunished. Today, how many people have we put in the court martial, for example, for the November riots? Okay? Or aren't we now hunting for the soldier who shot the policeman? We are hunting for him to arrest him. Previously, you do whatever you do, and you go scot-free. Yes. So, I assure the young Ugandans, we are still for you. And after all, many of us now are your generation and below. Yes. So talk to your age mates to behave themselves as we also train them.
Okay. One simple message to the UB40s of this country.
UB40s, first of all, congratulations for 41 years of peace and stability. 41 years of being able for you now to think and innovate. So our expectations for the young people, use this peace and stability to innovate and transform yourself and transform the country.
Thank you so much, Brigadier General Felix Laige, spokesperson of the UPDF and the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs. And of course, you've heard from him, and here is where we are today. He's given us that very good synopsis of why specifically we are actually here and not anywhere else, because the theme talks about retracing the history of this particular struggle. Of course, we're here to see lots of things, and we expect that His Excellency the President will be arriving anytime from now, because he's the main celebrant of this particular day. You're very welcome, sir, and happy Tarehe Sita.
Thank you. Happy Tarehe Sita.
Yes, thank you very much. Here is where we are today celebrating this day, and to so many people out there, they would love to really know why we celebrate this and why we are still celebrating this particular day. Is it still of any relevance to us as Ugandans?
Thank you very much. We are celebrating Tarehe Sita. The purpose of celebrating Tarehe Sita is one to commemorate our relationship with the Wananchi and also who started the struggle. And UPDF as a culture, every year we celebrate and we take back to the community. We do some activities. I have been involved in handing over some of the facilities, CIMIC projects by UPDF to the community in Kapchorwa. And it's very good to celebrate and remember the past way of our struggle, and also recognize the Wananchi who actually supported this army and the birth of UPDF.
What are some of these activities that you've been doing all through the Army Week and the time that you've been here, and which particular districts have benefited from your services during the Army Week?
Well, we have done health services to the community mobile clinics. We have rehabilitated the health centers, and we have rehabilitated some schools and constructed some projects. We have distributed 200,000 trees to change the environment. We have also distributed 2,000 mosquitoes in Kapchorwa. We have done quite something, and the community is very happy.
Well, that's very good. We thank you so much, and we want to wish you the best of this day.
Thank you very much. I wish everybody a happy Tarehe Sita for the first celebration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, and of course, here is where we are today to let you know that we're celebrating the 41st anniversary of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. Now, this is traced back from 1981 on this day when 41 young men and 27 guns started a war against the sitting government for every reason that they had. And after 5 years, on the 26th of January, we saw them capturing power in Kampala, and of course they've been here since then. Now that was called the National Resistance Army, which in 2005 got an act of parliament, a statute of parliament, making it the Uganda People's Defense Forces. And so when we talk about UPDF at 41, to many people, the question is, has the Uganda People's Defense Forces been here for 21? But remember, there is that metamorphosis from the National Resistance Army into the Uganda People's Defense Forces. And we now talk about retracing the people's struggle for peace and security for a modern Uganda. And just as you heard from General Felix Klaige, why are we in this particular place here in Maloko? For all those very important reasons. You've always heard the president himself. I talk about house number 48, and of course that is where he nearly encountered death. And just because he didn't die then, that is why we celebrate this year, and that's why we see all these things continue to happen. But it is where we are. We just want to welcome you again to be a part of the celebrations that we are part of until the very last minute of this day. Welcome again at UBC TV, where we part of the 41 Tarehe Sita celebrations here at Maluku in Imbale.
Dr. Patricia Acham Ganyo Shihirire Werukosi Inspector General of Government ano Imbale Site kwa kanye navi wanyala navi. So kushishebulira kusima elesa wa yinokolashina kushebulira bila ibya UPDF na mweni RM government na makolomandi inyumayo abembawe sultu ya shiro mobile boda ta na alisa wayi boda ya ambile la shifo wangi khalesa wayi ikusaya kutabuse Kampala wanga kana kumsiye Kenya boda yakutabula alisa wayi ibyo byose bilibila ibirerewere ni government ya NRM kukana kusima bibindi kuri babana basoma mu masomero bamako basaka bachehe inyuma yoyo nesawa iprogramu za government muri universal primary education, universal secondary education, ni BTVET, Buliando, even polytechnic. So
we continue again with coverage here at Maluku Boma Grounds in Imbale City. Here specifically where we are celebrating the 41st Tarehe Sita celebrations. Now just joining me is the Honorable Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, the Honorable Vincent Bamalanga Chisempija. You are very welcome, Sebo, and I am happy to have you here today.
Thank you very much.
This is your first celebration as Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs. I just want to know your thoughts, your experiences, your feelings, and your expectations of everything that is actually happening here today.
I'm really happy to be part of the 41st celebrations, but I'm also happy that I'm working with a very, very good team of generals, and of course we are also guided by His Excellency the President. Really, Minister of Defense is, I think, and the Veteran Affairs is a very good sector.
As a farmer, Honorable Minister, we saw you in the Ministry of Agriculture, in the Ministry of Maif, and you excelled in there because you had the background of farming. And people think you can only actually excel if you are in a place of your training or calling. We now see you in the forces. You are the Minister of Defense, and we do not know you as a general, we do not know you as one of those red stars or name it. How do you feel working with them, and how is work there, and how are you managing?
No, actually, really, I want to maybe assure you that I have some background with these generals, with the forces, and of course I'm not new. I have some background with them, and I have, I think I got a lot of training, especially of course I got some basic military training, that one is there, but also the message, the ideology of NRA, where I interacted, which I interacted with that time, really was is just enough for me to move with the defense. And of course, we are always guided, as I informed you. Defense is structured, so you move within that arrangement. You there is nothing that you cannot.
Okay. In just a couple of months, Honorable Minister, you will be celebrating 1 year in there as Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs. What are some of these things that you two can actually look to and say, from the time I got in here, I have seen a few things happening for a period that is less than 1 year so far?
Yeah, we are moving on well. We have been able to get to our veterans. It was a very big issue. Those who served before had very many issues, which we are now handling. And I think the question of these complaints from the veterans, I think, will in a few months will be history.
Okay.
And then we have also gone into serious works. We have developed the engineering brigade. It's moving up. Everybody wants the engineering brigade to do everything in the country, I think, because of what is happening now. We are also, we have seen also NEC moving in the right enterprise cooperation, moving in the right direction. So many things are happening, really.
Okay. How about the issue with the people that the forces want to take over everything? They want to take over the civil service. They want to take over the contracts that have been done by different other agencies. People are looking at it as the army is getting fused into virtually everything. And what do you say to those who have problems with that?
No, not at all, not at all. The army cannot take over everything. That is not possible. Even practically not possible. But they can do certain things better than others. So they can also support. I think what we are doing is to get some of our units to support the economy, but also support the private sector in various ways.
Okay.
Yes.
Very finally, Honorable Minister, what do you have to tell the people who say 41 years ago today, it was an illegality to go and fight a sitting government. Today, this is the day that we're celebrating, the day that we're commemorating, that this is the day that some young men went to overthrow a government, and nobody would want or would support the idea of overthrowing a government.
There are two things in nature. There is bad and good. If you are fighting for a good cause, then you should celebrate. If you achieve that success. If you are fighting for the bad cause, then it's terrible. But here, you are seeing men and women who fought for the good cause, and they succeeded in bringing peace, security, and now you see development coming in this country.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. I want to wish you the best of today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The Honorable Vincent Wamalanga Chisempija is the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, and this is his first Tarehe Sita celebration as Minister of Defense, and we want to wish him all the best, and of course the entire family of the UPDF and Ugandans at large. Let's enjoy this day.
Kijo Rondo, I'm Sabin. Kribung Yain Museveni. Kugateng Yain Museveni. Jajaminga Jan Museveni. Kribung Yain Museveni. Kugateng Yain Museveni. Jajamaja UPDA. Under President Museveni's leadership, Jamaica remote NRA, Jamak na Menduda, Jamak Chagigorio, Jamak Chamemujege, Jaming Baba, Jaming Bama, Jaming Bigotogo, Museveni, Jaming Big Up Sabinyo Museveni. Jumping big up Uganda. Chibetoge ageni. NRM. Jajamajek NRM la yewe. Jajamajek UPDA. Jajamajek Uganda police. Jajamajek Uganda prisons. Jajamajek big up Uwa. Oh, Kiswan Ngarakwe, Kiswan Chomye, Kiswan Toloshe, Tam Sabin. Kiswan Chomye, Tam Uganda. Kiswan Chomye, Tam Sabin. Kiswan Toloshe, Tam Kwen Kayu. Kribung Yayin Museveni. Kribung Yayin Kakuta Bakala.
Tusonge mpaka Kampala, Apweni leo. Jefunzeni siasa na mbinu za vita za umma, za vita za umma, za vita za umma ni yawe. Tusonge mpaka Kiboga, Apweni leo. Jefunzeni siasa na mbinu za vita za umma, za vita za umani yawe. Tusonge mpaka Kapeka, aheni leo. Jefunzeni siasa na mbinu za vita za umma, za vita za umani yawe. Tusonge mpaka Kampala, aheni leo. Jefunzeni siasa na mbinu za vita za umma, za vita za umani yawe.
Let it go. Felgon troop, if you are not ready, we would like to call the UPDF acrobatic team to get ready. You come and entertain our guests. If Felgon troop not ready, please UPDF acrobatic get ready. As they get ready, I think our UPDF band for the time being can continue, because I see that these ones are still getting ready. Give us a tune as we wait for the acrobats. The band, wait a minute, just a minute. Oh. Yes, just a minute. Hukana humanyiswa khokuri ngaba masaba khuli ni mu UPDF babana befe bali ano era sokana kusimo elukosi yoeli kagota mu 7 khobona khuri nafe wabamba khokumuhono wabatsowesa. Khuli ni Brigadier General James Nambale yoyo mwana mu masaba era ali kuranga embofu mwachiboni. Khaba ni Brigadier General David Gonyi, abo bose babana befe ba masaba. Khaba ni Brigadier General Kitsuye. Khaba ni Kano David Lumumba yona yomu masabayo. Khaba ni Kano Sadi Katemba. Khaba ni Kano Polo Namawa. Khaba ni Lieutenant Kano Lydia Nandutu yona yomwana mu masaba. Khaba ni Lieutenant Kano Betty Musuya mbabolendi niyo rukutumira hata ayo parade era kwasimile nabi. Parade UPDF, please continue. Band. ne kimenya kiri khutsia mumoni ni ba UPDF agropart team ba group kukisima bembale nanye mwikakho bukoli obwobo nga khwamalile bale bamalile khururana ffe khuburambisi kana khusima bandi yikatiwile atwela nga elimo prisons, Uganda prisons, Uganda police ni UPDF. Ibandi yino yikatile yichilile bandi indwela chimenya chimilayi chelukosi ni ukhwilinda nibasa chili khukhusangasa bulisu wikhale ela nga khwalemele khuri khuwetselesa lukosi ni ukhwilinda nga nibitsa bulayi.
Thank you very much. The Joint Forces Brass Band. Our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as you can clearly observe, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces is in our midst. The Joint Security Chiefs are proceeding to receive him, and when he arrives, as protocol requires of all of us, we shall rise and the anthems will be sung, led by the Joint Forces Brass Band. Ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest now, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces has arrived. May we all rise as we welcome His Excellency the President, and the band is going to lead us in the anthems. Most welcome, Your Excellency the President, to this 41st anniversary of the celebration of Tarehe Sita here at Boma Grounds in Maluku, Mbale City. His Excellency will now proceed to take the salute.
jeshi la ulinzi wa wananchi wa Uganda iliyopo mbele yako imeandaliwa na jeshi la ulinzi wa wananchi wa Uganda, jeshi sheria na amri, askari huduma wa gereza, na litaanguka na mnyama wa kweli, na mizitoka kale mitatu vikundi 24 wako tayari kwa ukaguzi yako, Mheshimiwa Rais.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency the President is now proceeding to inspect the parade. We may now resume our seats for now. Thank you. The parade commander is Colonel Armstrong Nduga, and the second in command is Lieutenant Colonel Betty Muswea. So the parade commander is leading the chief guest, His Excellency the President, in the parade inspection, and the President is accompanied by the Chief of Defense Forces, General Wilson Mbasu Mbadi. After the inspection of the parade, His Excellency the President will inspect an exhibition stall by the Uganda People's Defense Forces Spouses Department under Mrs. Mugume. Then after that, he'll join us here, and the rest of the program will roll out as per the program guide booklets that you all have. Thank you.
We continue to congratulate all of you for having reached today, and we celebrate with all of you this occasion. Like I have said, and I continue to say, when we talk of a modern Uganda, there are specific things that have to be done and have been done to ensure that we reach there. And one of them is reflected in the education programs right from UPE, USE, youth livelihood, skilling of the girl child, to mention but a few. On the economic front, the Operation Wealth Creation is a kingpin in the realization of the peace and stability that necessarily will make us have a modern Uganda. We wish to congratulate UPDF for not being like most of us who are ready to celebrate the great successes done and give a very small recognition to the humble beginning. February 6, 1981 was a humble beginning. And because it was a humble beginning, like a seed that is planted, it had to go to the soil, suffer, come out, to see, enjoy the fruits of the big tree of transformation that we are seeing. To mark Tarehe Sita, UPDF carries out civil military activities in the week preceding the national celebration, symbolizing the bond between the army and the people. On account of a regional rotation policy, this year's Tarehe Sita and associated activities have been held in the Eastern region in 7 districts and 1 city, covering the districts of Kapchorwa, Kwen, Mbale, Gorambuli, Sironko, Bududa, Namusindwa, and Mbale City. Therefore, for very many reasons, this area was specifically selected to host Tarehe Sita activities. And we are proud that although few are here, because COVID is still with us, the majority of Ugandans and the diaspora are following this event virtually. And we thank our media teams for making that one possible. With the people-based support, the NRA registered success after success, culminating in the final defeat of dictatorships hitherto molesting the people they were meant to lead towards prosperity. In January 1986, takeover of government by the NRA heralded a fundamental change that has provided a conducive political climate for democratic institutions to thrive and economic transformation to occur. An example is the formation of the 1995 Constitution, under which the NRA became UPDF. A notch higher than just resisting poor leadership and explicitly underscoring its mandate to defend the people of Uganda as a non-partisan force of national character, professional, productive, and subordinate civilian authority. The UPDF has used the opportunity of the Defense Week's activities to renew the commitment to its liaison to defend and protect the people and the country through interacting with the public, including veterans, and added their grain of sand to the political freedom enjoyed today across the country. The interaction has further cemented the harmony, compatibility, and interdependence by the defense forces and the civilian population of Uganda. It is worth noting that UPDF has grown to the extent of becoming an army without borders. Its constructive role in strenuous peace support missions such as Somalia and other fraternal countries is an open book for everyone to read. The UPDF salutes all Ugandans and the people of Elgon region in particular for their unwavering support since the foundation days of the struggle to date, even when it meant paying the ultimate price. The sacrifices have not been in vain. This time, let me invite my colleague to speak in the room.
Wilosela kusima kakusima government ya National Resistance Movement kubonera chimyaha kane na mutwela erera kumuhoro kuno kuba imbale era fenga ba masaba kusimira nayo kumula mwa kurukula makuri kuwetselesa kwa kwiwayo kwa babandu kurera lukosi ni bye kwilinda mu Uganda yino ya nari ngani bayetselesele batu ya bari kumwaka 1973 purangirisi bweba masabano baba bwakhandisa khale ifu kayimbi iyabawo bisela kale bamasababo mwabamo muzeyi Maumbe, mwabamo muzeyi Natolo, mwabamo muzeyi Wadada Musani ni babandi baba basale wewe lukosi president wefe Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
His Excellency the President is now proceeding to inspect the Joint Forces Band, led by Brigadier General Justin Anywa, who is the Director of Music of Uganda People's Defense Forces, and the band is mounted by UPDF, Uganda Police Force, and Uganda Prison Service. From inspecting the band, His Excellency the President will proceed to inspect a stall, an exhibition stall by the UPDF spouses desk. And Your Excellency, we appreciate so much your support through the Presidential Support Fund to Wives of Soldiers projects in all the establishments of the UPDF. This is only one of them, but it's a replication of what goes on in all the establishment of the UPDF thanks to the support through the Presidential Support Fund to Waves of Soldiers projects in UPDF. The head is Mrs. Rebecca Mugume, the Principal Social Development Officer and head of the Spouses Desk at Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs and UPDF. We thank you, Your Excellency, for the support you always give the Waves of the Soldiers through the Presidential Support Fund to Waves of Soldiers projects. Welcome, Your Excellency. Our distinguished guests, may I request that we rise and welcome His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, who is our chief guest at this 41st anniversary of Tarehe Sita celebrations here in Mbale, Maluku grounds. We welcome you so much, Your Excellency, and we thank you for gracing this occasion with your presence. Now that His Excellency has taken his seat, may I request that we all resume our seats. And I will right away invite the religious leaders to come and lead us in prayers. Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Muwaje for the Islamic faith. Archbishop Geronimo Simzei, the Metropolitan Archbishop of the Orthodox Church of Uganda, and Right Reverend Wilson John Wilson Nanda, the Bishop of Mbale Diocese, will lead us in prayers at this ceremony. You're most welcome, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Muwaje, and Your Eminence and Right Reverend Bishop Wilson Nanda.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله محمد بن عبد الله عليه أفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful,